Welcome to episode 4 of Inside the Tank. I'm your host, Josh Raphael. Today I have a jam-packed guest with me, SSC first team selection, NSU record holder in blocks and assists. I mean, the list goes on. Olivia Aniol, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
How was your morning so far, Joe?
I was good. We practiced this morning, getting ready for the tournament coming up on this weekend, and it was a lot of fun.
How excited are you for the tournament?
I'm very excited. I love the tournament play. I love the vibes of the competition, and I think I'm really looking forward to getting the opportunity to play Barry again.
Yeah, and we're here to learn more about you. So can you kind of give us a little bit of a background of like your volleyball journey and how that started?
Yeah, well, I grew up predominantly playing soccer. I picked up volleyball in middle school when, you kind of start to outgrow soccer. I was getting taller, and my best friend's mom was a coach, and she kind of pushed me into it. I was playing beach and indoor at that time. I was still playing soccer. I didn't quit soccer until my freshman year of high school. I broke my leg, so done with that. Moved on, picked up volleyball, and started to really enjoy it. I played beach for a long time. I thought I wanted to go to college for beach, and that was what I was like, oh, that's what I'm going to do. But Nova gave me the opportunity to play here, and I fell in love with the area and the girls that I met, and I loved the decision that I made. And then this is just everything I wanted it to be.
So like what kind of, I know you talk about the girls and obviously the area, but like what would you say definitely led you to choosing NSU?
I think just the community that I was introduced to. The girls at the time were very welcoming. I loved my class I was recruited with when I got to meet them. It had checked all my boxes. It was the education I wanted. I wanted to be closer to home. I'm from the Tampa area. So that gave me that opportunity to stay in the Sunshine State. I'm not a fan of the cold, so I wasn't going anywhere north. So more south was enticing. And I just think the opportunity to play for a good program in the SSC was huge because it's competitive, and that's exactly what I wanted.
And as I've mentioned before, you're an SSC first team selection, first time in your career that's happening. And again, you've just had a great year up to this point. Can you kind of tell me what was the biggest difference in your game from last year and this year? Because there has been a big jump.
I think it started in the spring. Commitment. I mean, I've always been a committed player, and that's always like I've always wanted to give 100% and be the best. But I think in the spring, me and a couple of the girls decided to do a couple of challenges like the 75 hard and things like that, and that kind of introduced me into being really disciplined in my actions and what I'm doing and more intentional. So I think I was able to carry all of that growth that I had mentally and physically in the spring into my summer and continue that training. And it's a huge mental game. I mean, emotions are high in all sports, but I think being able to control my own head and I'm a perfectionist and things like that. So taking control of my own actions and what I knew I needed to do and just being disciplined in everything, I think that was the biggest part, is that I just kind of took a step back and was like, this is what I wanted and this is what I have to do to get there, and went with it.
And what was that feeling like being named to your first All-SSC first team?
It was really exciting. Matt and Casey FaceTimed me and Taylor at the same time because she made All-SSC as well, and it felt really good. I was excited. I think this season helped with my confidence. I was more confident in my play, and getting that just kind of made me happy and felt like everything that I was doing, was recognized and was working, and it felt nice to, be next to Taylor because she's an incredible athlete as well, and I've always supported and loved what she's done.
And was that a goal like you set out coming into this year?
Yes, I wanted to be the best. I wanted to be recognized All-SSC, and accomplishing that just felt great.
Do you have any other goals, like team goals or individual
I
goals?
want to win regionals as a team. I think that would be huge for us. I mean, every year we've gone a little farther than we did the year before. So this year, the little farther will get us to the regional finals. So I'm hoping that we get that. I would love to be an All-American this year or next year, really work and put myself on that national level as well.
Yeah, and I forgot to mention, were tied for the national lead in blocks assists at the end of the regular season up to this point. Like, you say how you want to be, like, compared, like, on a national level. Talk to me about that and being able to kind of be amongst the greatest or in terms of, like, the best block assist players in the country.
Yeah, I think that's something that is just an incredible thing for anyone to reach. And the fact that I feel like that's something that I can accomplish this season makes me happy and I'm like, okay, like I want to go get this and I want that. Like I want that title. I mean, I know it's not all about like, oh, what you do, what your title is, but I think it would mean a lot to me to finish my career and, do better because it has been my best season so far. And I want to just continue to set these goals. And then if I reach them, then that just gives me something else to work for next year.
And now we're gonna get to some serious questions. So I've heard that you're a big Harry Potter fan.
Oh,
So now we're gonna
yes.
get into the nitty gritty here. I gotta ask, kind of talk to me about what's your favorite like Harry Potter book slash movie, and kind of tell us like what got you into that.
I just finished actually reading the series. I watched all the movies spring of my freshman year with Kate, Joe, and Taylor. So that's who really got me into it. And then my sister read the books this summer, and I was like, okay, same. So Taylor and I just finished the books. My favorite book is Order of the Phoenix. That was my least favorite movie at the start because it's one of those frustrating movies. It doesn't go the way you want it to. So, but reading the book, it was the biggest book that in the series, and it was just so fun. I think I love to do that. I mean, I feel like growing up, I had a cousin that liked Harry Potter, and I was like, oh, like why? Like, there's nothing fun about it. And then once you watch it, you're like, oh wow, this is awesome. And now all I can do is encourage people to watch and read it. And I'm gonna go to Harry Potter World this spring, so
That
something to
should
look forward
that
to.
should be fun. So would you say you're more of like a book junkie than like movies or?
Recently, books. The books just, I mean, all books have the more detail, and you get like inner dialogue and things like that movies don't give you. That I'm like, oh, like this just makes it so much better because I'm a little nerd for like the details, like how everything lines up, like how someone will think something and then this will happen and it connects to this book. So I feel like I get that from books, and then again, I get all giddy and excited about it.
Yeah, and earlier, kind of going back to the team aspect of everything, you talked to us about how your chemistry with your team is so good. Can you kind of tell me what's your most memorable moment as a Shark up to this point in your career?
Most memorable moment, I think it would be when we beat Tampa at home last year. I think the emotions were so high and everyone wanted that so bad. And then like the feeling of being in the locker room, Nadia Linder, she had transferred here last year and that was her first time ever beating Tampa in her career, and like the tears, like the happy tears, and it was just the excitement and the love. Like it wasn't like, yeah, we were Tampa's first win that last season, but it was like all of us being in the locker room together, like smiling and tears of joy, and it just like that is what I love about the game is us. And like I said, our culture is something that I'm very proud of, and I love our closeness. And I feel like that's just a moment where it was great volleyball that led into like an even better like group relationship.
And you mentioned Nadia, you mentioned last year's team. What do you think is the biggest difference between last year's team and this year's team?
Um, I think last year's team, I feel like we had a lot more like older girls. Obviously, Price and Brittany have fifth and sixth years this year, but we had Madison Cook last year, Julia Bernardes, Naya. Like they were all older girls. I feel like this year's a lot of younger girls. I feel like that's a big shift, and I mean it's not anything that I think has obviously affected us negatively. It's just a little different. Like there's a lot more leadership roles and stronger personalities in our younger classes, and I think that's something that could be really beneficial in the long run, but it's just not something that I was used to because my freshman year there were 7 seniors, and this year we only had 4.
And my final question for you, I do this with all my guests. It's called Josh's Top 3.
Okay.
So I gotta know, what's your top 3 go-to snacks? It could be candy, it could be chips.
Go-to snacks. Um, this is kind of a weird one. Cottage cheese.
Okay, that's a
I've
first.
Yeah, new obsession I picked up this summer, but I mean I can cottage cheese and eggs, cottage cheese with like ground turkey,
Okay.
dipping my favorite, the little pretzel thins, dipping those in cottage cheese. Can never go wrong with that for me. Popcorn, always. Any kind of popcorn. Movie theater popcorn, the jumbo pop that they used to have in Publix, like I could sit and eat popcorn all day. And going back to the pretzel thins, I would just say pretzels in general. I
Yeah.
mean, the salt crunch, the thins. I like the little twist the most because then you can like eat all the sides. It feels like there's more than when you eat a pretzel steak.
Are you big
Yeah.
on candy or not?
Not as much recently. I very much like the salty snacks more, I think, now as I've done more and grown up, I guess.
No, that's fair. Well, Olivia, thank you for coming on. Fans, thank you for watching. Volleyball team will take on Barry in Boca on Friday, so be sure to make your way there to go support the volleyball team. Again, Olivia, thank you for tuning in,
Thank
or
you
at
for
least
having
coming
me.
on, shall I say. Fans, appreciate you again. We'll be back.